Hi, I'm Roxy, and this is a video demo of my Corel Painter light effects brushes, which you can get for free if you grab it within the next week. Thereafter, it will be a few dollars. So, back in 2023, I did a 24-week lesson series for my patrons, all about painting different lighting effects. And during this time, I ended up creating a few brushes that would help achieve various lighting effects. And these brushes later grew into quite a nice sized bunch. And I finally gotten around to packaging them up. So today I'm launching it as a product on my Gumroad and Cubebrush stores. As I mentioned in the intro, it will be free for 1 week. So just check out the video description for the store link. Put a 0 in the price field or another number if you're feeling generous. And once you've downloaded and extracted it from the zip, open your Corel Painter. I should mention that I made these in Painter version 2023. I figured most people are on this version after all the huge sales they had last year. But if there's any of you still using an older version, grab it anyway and let me know your version in the comments. Then when I get a gap, I'll make it for that version and update the product. So you head up to Brushes, Import Category, navigate to where you unzipped it, and you import it. Right, so let's get on with the demos. So first up, we have Glow Pen. This creates a smooth, simple, hard line with a softer fuzz around it that makes the lines look like they're glowing. The size and opacity are linked to how hard you press. Glow Pen Soft is just a softer, fuzzier variant. For an idea of something that you could make very easily using a combination of these two brushes is a lightsaber. You just grab the softer variant to lay down a soft colored glow, and then use the sharper variant with pure white in the middle. Easy as that. Then Neon Writer. A similar concept. It's got a much more solid looking inner line, and it has this really interesting quality where if you choose a color, let's say we choose orange, you can see that the fringe is orange, but the solid line in the middle is actually much brighter. It's more like yellow. So, if we go around the color wheel, you can get a feel of how it behaves. The fringe is the color that you chose, basically, and then the internal line is much brighter. It reminded me of those neon signs that all the motels in the movie seem to have, so hence the name Neon Writer. Streaky light holds together quite solidly if you go slowly and becomes brighter the harder you press. And then the magic comes in when you start doing fast swirls. You'll see the lines start to break up. The next one, Streaky Light Loose, is a lot more unraveled than the previous one. Sometimes it works out really well to use both the streaky brushes together. Like if you try to follow the same curved trajectory and line them up, it does sometimes create quite a nice look. Glow Brush is a fat, streaky painter style brush that also has a fuzziness that makes it feel like it's glowing. Featherlight has a built-in graininess to the glow. It feels like it lends itself to maybe painting a magical bird or angel wings perhaps. So Velocity Shaft I developed for painting torch beams. And the harder you press, the brighter it will be. But more importantly, the faster you use it, the faster your stroke, the wider the stroke will get. So this means that you can easily achieve a cone of light because you're starting from 0 speed and then you whip that stroke and you get that speed which increases the width. So cool for torch beams, or that beam that comes down from an alien ship when they're about to abduct someone, that kind of thing. So pool reflection brush, this is for those light caustics that we get at the bottom of the pool. And then I also included Caustic Painter, which is the actual brush that I used to paint the pool reflection dab, which was used in the previous brush. So this way you could quickly slap down the pattern with the pool reflections and then switch to the caustic painter to refine it, or you could even paint your own pattern. Bokeh is a photographic effect where unfocused blur causes lights in the scene to look like discs of light of varying sizes and opacity, and I created this brush to simulate that effect. There's two variations. Bokeh Varied has randomly sized discs, and Bokeh Uniform, it's not truly uniform in size, but comparatively it is. The discs are almost the same size. So it's like a tamed version of the previous one. Light Ripples is a brush you can create patterns of light distortion. So the dappled light brush, I actually made this to simulate dappled light shining through foliage. But in itself, it can be used quite successfully as a foliage brush. Like, let's say we have a tree here, and then on the ground, create a new layer, choose a lighter value, swipe that across, and then just distort it into perspective. String light probably has limited application, but when I was making this, I was picturing a Christmas or festive scene where you've got these string lights hanging in the trees and across street poles. There's two variations of it. This is the sharp, glary version, and then there's the next one, which is like a soft, out of focus version. Lens flare is literally just a lens flare. You can apply it by a quick stroke in the area you want it. Fair warning though, I have a feeling that if your computer is a potato, this brush might take a while to load. I'm very blessed to have a great PC, so it's difficult sometimes for me to test if a brush performs well or not, so I hope this isn't too taxing on your system. Next one, Star Scatter. This is for creating starry scenes. Pressing lightly will yield faded small stars, and pressing firmly will yield sharp larger stars. So you can create a nice little galaxy scene. Shimmer Cloud is for adding a staticky kind of haze. Pressing softly will yield a faint, unfocused haze, and firmly will yield more distinct dots. Halo creates a glowing ring. You can quickly go overboard with it. So to get just one ring, firmly place your stylus tip down and then slowly move it and pull it up as soon as you have your ring. If you're on a new layer, you can of course use distort to warp it into the right angle over your subject's head. And then just erase the part that's behind the subject's head. Glow Star has a star-shaped dab, so you can tap it once for a blobby looking star, or you can use it as a brush. Shining Blades is quite versatile. If you keep making upward strokes so that the points are always facing up, you can make some decent looking grass, or even fire if you angle your strokes just right. And it also works really well to add some highlights in hair. For this, you want to alternate the point back and forth so that the points are on both sides. These next two brushes work together. I was looking at pics of the Northern Lights, and I felt the best way to simulate it was in two parts. First, to use this Aurora Borealis brush, I lay down the main swirls, and then I switch to Ray Blender, which doesn't paint, it only blends, and it does so streakily, so we can pull out the wispy lines that we typically see in the Northern Lights. Of course, you can use this blender for loads of other things. It will also work excellently for pulling light rays out of clouds, or you can probably simulate rain quite well with it. So that wraps up the demos. I hope that you have fun using these brushes, and if you do, I'd love it if you'd tag me on social media so I can like it. And Thank you to my dear patrons. Thank you everybody for watching. Much obliged if you leave a like and subscribe. Until the next one, God bless.